Aloha Honu, it's Mrs. Rinkin. You know what holiday's coming up? That's right, Earth Day. Earth Day is celebrated every year on April 21st. It's actually kind of a new holiday. It wasn't around when I was a kid, but it's one of my favorite holidays because it reminds us to think of ways we can protect and preserve and make life better on Earth. So today I want to share with you a few ideas for using things around the house. Again, using less resources requires less pollution and less water, so that we all have more to go around. So today I'm out here at my potting area, which is where I start all my seeds. So sometimes I use plastic pots. I try to reuse them. I use them from the garden, but maybe you don't have any plastic pots, or these are made of plastic and we want to try to reduce our use of plastic. So I have some things around the house that we can use. I found the container from the apples that we got at Costco. We're gonna make a little greenhouse. I found an egg carton, the kind that's cardboard. We're gonna start some seeds there. And I found something we all have, the rolls from our toilet paper. These make great little planters. You can put them right in the soil. You don't even have to take the little baby plant out, which is better for the plant. And also, we can reuse this tool. So another thing, one thing that we can do is we're gonna fold the sides of the tube. So I'm gonna come a little closer. I'm just gonna fold down the sides. I'll show you as I'm going. So that's pretty easy, but there's a lot of pukas, a lot of gaps. So take something like a pencil or a chopstick and just go ahead and kind of flatten it out, push it down, and I'll show it to you again. So now it's sealed up, and here's what it looks like from the inside. Now we're ready to prepare it for some seeds. So we're gonna have a little bit of gravel, some small rocks. Just find something around the house. Dig in the soil. So this is just to make so the soil doesn't compact or get really tightly pushed together. That will help the new little roots grow. So I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 little rocks in there. And then I just gathered up some soil from around my yard. You don't need to buy soil in a bag. It's actually better if you don't. I usually look underneath my banana trees. The soil is usually very rich. For a long time, our banana leaves fall down and they rot on the ground and they make a really nice compost. So if you're looking for a little potting soil in your house and you're lucky enough to have some banana trees, go over there and dig up some soil. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that into my tube. Kind of almost full, maybe an inch from the top, because remember, some sunlight's gonna have to get down in there. All right, now I have some seeds here from my loofah plant. If you watch some of the earlier STEAM videos, you know that I'm growing loofah in my garden. It looks like a cucumber when it's growing, but then you peel off the outer bark and you have this cool scrubby sponge. I'd like to grow some more of these and I can give them away as Earth Day gifts. So I've gone ahead and gotten most of the seeds out of my loofah. And I soaked them overnight. The loofah seeds have a really tough seed coat, so I want to go ahead and soak them overnight. So I'm going to go ahead now and get a few of my soaked loofah seeds. If you're growing something small like flowers or herbs, no need to soak them. It's only these big tough seeds. So I'm just going to place 2 seeds. I like to do 2 because just in case one doesn't sprout, I've got a backup. If they both sprout, I'm going to thin them out. I'm going to take the smaller one out and go put it in the compost because there's not enough room in here for 2 seeds to grow. Now I'm just going to take a really light dusting of soil just to cover them up so you can't see the seeds anymore. I'm not going to push it down or make a big heavy pile on top. I want them to be able to grow. And then I just have a little tray. I think maybe I bought some mushrooms and they came in this tray. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few more of these little pots and set them in this tray in a sunny spot. And we're ready to go. So if you have some of these containers from apples or other kinds of fruits at Costco, you can prepare them by first poking 2 holes in each of these little circles You might ask a grown-up to do that. You might have to use something sharp like a screwdriver. Those are drainage holes to let the extra water out. And then just like we did before, we're gonna add some pebbles. We don't want the soil to get really compact or tight at the bottom of these holes, so this is gonna help keep that loose and keep area for water to go through. Then you'll go ahead and sprinkle your soil generously over the top. You can fill it almost all the way up. And then you're ready to plant your seeds. The really cool thing about these containers is if you just cover it loosely, still letting some air come through, you're gonna have a really nice greenhouse. It's gonna stay moist in there. Once the seeds start sprouting, you can just lift it up. I like to put a little rock on top of here because it's a little light, and if the wind really picks up, I don't want my seeds to fly away. And then the great thing is when it's ready, when it's time to go into the ground, I'll just come along with my trowel, I'll dig up this whole little pot worth and I'll set it right down into the soil. I hope to be able to show you that on a later video. I better get busy planting these seeds. I hope you've had some fun thinking of ways you can reuse things for Earth Day. Why don't you let me know? Send me an email. Tell me what you're doing to help make the Earth a better place for everyone.